Welcome back to 8 Rice Up. Very excited to have you here. I'm Ryan Rice, your host. This is my beautiful wife, Maida.
Hi.
Very excited to be here today. What we wanted to talk about today is how to interact with someone that's going through a major life transition, maybe grieving or something, because it's difficult to know what to say to somebody because almost everything you say is going to trigger them. And that's just kind of how it is. So let's dive into it a little bit. Maida, with you, I know when your husband passed away, you told me you actually lost a lot of friends.
I totally did. I did. I don't know where they went.
And it's kind of weird, right? Because I'm sure everybody's like, hey, man, I want to reach out. I want to help. I want to be there for you. But then they get this almost analysis paralysis and they're like, well, what do I say?
I actually gained new friends.
Oh,
Yeah.
you gain new friends.
I gained new friends. I knew these people, but we were not friends. And those people that we were not really like friends became my friends. And the ones that were my friends, they went MIA.
They just went MIA.
Mm-hmm.
It is interesting how going through struggle, going through trials binds you with people. Because I know maybe last week, 2 weeks ago, I was in a group setting talking to somebody, just kind of BSing before a meeting started. And they're like, oh, so what do you do? And I said, I do a podcast about grief. You know, my wife died, my wife's husband died. And they're like, oh my gosh. And then they started talking about, somebody that they knew that passed away and somebody else who did. And suddenly we're connecting on a level that wasn't there before. And because, when somebody passes away, it's extremely emotional. And suddenly you're like, oh, so you kind of get it, But when my wife passed away, I know for a lot of people, they told me, I remember one friend in particular, she told me that this was the first person that she was really connected to or really knew that had passed away, right? She had grandparents and stuff pass away that they weren't really close with. But my wife was the first person she actually personally knew that had passed away. And she's like, I don't even know how to deal with that. I don't know what to say. And she, I'd be over at her house and she would apologize all the time. She's so sweet. But she'd apologize all the time because she's like, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. She's like, oh, man, today, this thing was just killing me. And then she'd stop and be like, I shouldn't say that around Ryan. And I laughed. And I'm like, no, I think saying something's killing you, that's okay. Right? Did people get kind of weird around you like that?
Not with words, but they just changed overall.
What do you mean?
They were just not the same person with me. They couldn't be themselves. They were lame. No, they were not. They were just, I don't know. The friends that I like, that I usually am easygoing with and that I connect with are usually people that are very genuine, very open book, very down to earth, very chill, and that we can laugh a lot, right? And I feel like those people, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden they couldn't see me. They couldn't look at me. They didn't know what to say. They just didn't know what to say.
You know what's interesting? So with true intimacy, like having a relationship, a really intimate relationship, is just being genuine with yourself and being able to be that genuine self with everyone else, showing the real you with everyone else. And so
Right.
when something happens like that, when there's a trauma or something, people kind of clam up and they're like, oh, and they've got these walls up because they don't want to offend you or they don't want to, they're just going through their own thing. But if you can break those down and just be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to say something stupid and that's okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
And just be forgiving with each other and have that intimacy. It actually, it's so refreshing to have people like that.
Right. And that's why, I joke a lot. Like, I'm a person that likes to joke and have fun and whatnot. And sometimes I even say things that may not be appropriate for little kids. I mean, you know that. Now you
But it's funny.
It is funny, right? But I remember that when I was single, and I hated being alone. I hated it, 100% hated it. And I remember that I was watching a movie, and then let's see, what were we doing? I don't know. We were watching a movie and eating something super good. And, I told my friend, oh my gosh, this tastes better than sex. And she just looks at me like, hold on, aren't you like a widow? Like, what do you say? And I'm like, I'm sorry. I guess I miss it. No, I just wanted to I wanted them to be open and let them know that, you know what, it's okay. Like, I know I lost my husband, but I'm still me. Like, deep down inside, this PTSD and depression and anxiety and whatnot, like I'm still the same person.
Right.
You can still joke with me. And with everything that I've been through, I actually have more of a dark humor. And I mean, you know that.
I do know that. Yep. All because two people died.
Right.
Right?
Instead
Yeah.
of because two people fell in love because two people died for us. And it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. We're not trying to be disrespectful to our late spouses or to people that are grieving or anything like that. This is just who we are. And it's okay to be, to laugh and smile and have fun and have joy. It is not disrespectful. And I just remember a lot of people changed because they thought that I was still grieving in, kind of like dressed in black grieving kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so they didn't think that laughing was appropriate or going to a vacation, taking a vacation was appropriate because I was grieving. I should be mourning. I should just be at home and I should just be, I don't know. I don't know what they imagined, me with a bunch of candles in there. I don't know. But I wasn't, right? Like I wanted to go out. I actually wanted to run away. Like I didn't want to stay home. I don't know how it was for you, but at least that's how it was for me. I just couldn't keep it inside. I would let it all out and I'd be like, I know that he's gone and it hurts me. And I would laugh and I would cry and then I would laugh again. And, but a lot of people did get uncomfortable. They just didn't know how to handle that. They felt like we were being disrespectful for some reason.
Yeah, I totally get you. I think the best things that my friends did when my wife passed away was just be there, right? And they said some dumb things. I said some dumb things, and you're gonna get triggered. Like if you're going through something and somebody says the wrong thing, you're gonna explode and be like, "Oh, I can't believe you said that." Don't take it personal. That's just part of the grieving process, right? And just acknowledging that emotions. It's okay to have emotions, good emotions, bad emotions, whatever. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be happy and feel the emotions you're feeling, right?
Yeah, I wish that people would just be the same person.
Right.
That's all I want. I don't want them to be awkward. I don't want them to feel restricted. And that I miss them. It makes me want to miss them and be like, "Oh, you're the one that changed. It wasn't me. Like I'm still here. I need you more than ever." So, yeah, if you know somebody that is going through something really, really hard, don't change and be awkward. Just be yourself because that's what they need. They need somebody to enjoy life with again, to learn how to enjoy life with again.
Yeah. Well, and when you're dealing with trauma, a lot of people, what they do is they avoid it by being busy. Right? Oh, I want to go do something, or I want to run away, or I want to go on a trip, and that's okay, right? If you can't handle it at the moment, this is the coping mechanism you use is let me avoid it, let me do something else because it's painful to go down that rabbit hole, whether it's depression or grief or whatever it is, it hurts to go down there. And so you just need a friend at that moment to not remind you that, oh, by the way, your spouse died.
Yeah, I think it's more painful to see that they are not the same with you anymore.
Right.
And they can't have a normal conversation with you anymore.
Right.
That's more painful than, those little reminders, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Right. Yeah.
Because then you start losing them. You start grieving them too.
Right. Exactly. Because there's so many reminders out there of what happened or what the trauma is or what the transition is. You don't need another one. Right. So I totally get it. You feel awkward talking to somebody and you're like, oh man, how do I help? And your heart goes out to people. I know people's heart went out to me and they're like, man, I wish I could do something for you. I'm praying for you, but I don't want to talk to you because I don't want to say anything dumb. And I'm like, please do, please talk to me. And I'm going to say some dark humor or I'm going to say things that are inappropriate. And that's okay. Like, let's not take it personal. That's okay. Or if I snap at you, I'm sorry. That's part of the grieving process that I get pissed.
Can you, now
I'm
that
sorry.
you're saying this, okay, now that you're talking about this, can you just tell people that are watching us that you actually did not tell anybody when they said that, I'm sorry, Ryan. Don't tell me you're sorry because I'm going to make you sorry. You never said that, right?
I never said that. Yeah, I never said that to people. I may have expressed that to some of my friends, some of my closer friends, but no, yeah.
Like you never punched anybody.
I never punched anybody.
And made them sorry.
Even though I really wanted to. No, yeah. No, it's just that, yeah, there's things that go on in your head and you're like, I'm not going to share that out loud. I may share it out loud on the podcast. But that's different.
This is why we're doing this.
That's why we're doing
share
it.
our thoughts out loud.
Right. But no, the best thing my friends did was just be there for me.
Yeah.
And just be honest, genuine, just be themselves. We joke around, we play. Like one of my friends was like, hey, if you want to go break stuff, let's go break stuff. And actually for the bachelor party before our wedding, he took me to some place you smash crap up. Right? Like there's TVs and phones and stuff. They give you a bat and you're like...
And I'm sure it felt great.
Oh, it was amazing. It was absolutely a rage room. Yeah, absolutely. It was so fun. And what was the best part about it was we got in there and I'm like, I'm not just going to do this halfway. Like I got some anger. Right.
Yeah,
and so you go out and you take it up because it's socially acceptable. It's okay. Yeah. We broke a bunch of stuff and it was so much fun. We broke beer bottles and stuff and let glass explode. We're like, yeah, you just
you're
smash
like, I'm
things.
getting married tomorrow. Boom.
Yeah. You know what I mean? There's just, things you're dealing with because again, when there's trauma or transition in your life and you don't deal with it, it feels like that gorilla on your back.
Yeah.
And you're going to bring it along with you until you give yourself permission to feel what you're feeling and get through it. Right. And then suddenly when you get through it, it feels like a weight's been lifted. And it's not that the sorrow's gone, or it's not that the transition or the death of that person is gone. We're not forgetting our spouse.
No.
We're going to bring them with us, but they're going to make us better people because of what we've gone through, rather than I'm stuck. I can't get past it. Like my wife died. I'm never going to find anybody again. I'm miserable. That's not it, right? My wife died, but I'm going to turn it into something positive for my life. And that's how we found each other. We said, you know what? We need somebody else that understands us at that level. Mm-hmm. And I don't think you and I would connect the same way if we hadn't gone through what we did, right?
Absolutely.
It would be more superficial. But now that we've gone through that, we're like, oh, you kind of get it. Life is fragile. We need to be very careful. But let's go out and have fun, and we can connect deeper because we've been lower.
I actually feel like I can be a better friend now, or not like I wasn't a good friend, but I can be a better friend at supporting my others and loving others in a more deeper way because of what I went through.
Right.
So I wish that others would see that and understand that. And I get it. Like I don't blame them because it is hard. Right. It is hard. You don't know what to say. You don't want to say the wrong thing. Mm-hmm. You don't want to trigger them. But then at the same time, you do want to hear from them. You do want to know what they're thinking. You do want you want advice. And let me just clarify. I know that there is this chart that says phase 1 of grief is, what is it?
It's denial.
Is it denial? And then there's anger. And then there's this and this and this. It doesn't mean that you're going to go through those in order. It might be all, it's a roller coaster.
Right.
So, and we might go back to denial and back to anger and back to acceptance and back to denial again. So you might punch a person again if they say sorry, right?
Again.
But no, I'm just saying, like, they think, let's just let them cool down until they accept it. No, you don't accept it. I mean, you do, but you don't, right? Like, you try to accept it and heal and whatnot, but like you carry the grief with you.
Right.
Grief is something that you learn to live with.
Right. Yeah. You learn to live with it and you work through it. You feel it and you're like, oh, now I understand.
Right. Yeah. Right. And I feel like people are just waiting. They're just waiting for them to, for others to feel better when they've gone through that. And I feel like for you, I saw a lot of people that were there for you because I met you when you were 5 months into grieving.
Right.
And I saw so many people for you, so many people that were there for you, that were just ready to, to help you and be there 24/7. And whenever, and once you get married, it's like, bye, right? What's up with that? Like, are you gonna be friends or not?
That's funny. No, yeah, it people are there for you when you're grieving. And actually, I talked to one of my friends about this. When it first happens, everybody's there for you and everybody wants to help. And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Don't say that. But, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. What can I do? Also, don't say that.
Oh
but,
my God.
but yeah, they're there for you when it first happened. But then it's pretty typical. A couple months later, people kind of fall off and they're like, yeah, but you should get over it by now.
You should get over it. No, you don't get over it. You know what I can't get over is like, where are my friends? Where are my funny friends? That's what I can't get over.
Yeah.
And now again, I don't think saying sorry is a bad thing.
Right.
I feel you. I understand what you're saying. That's something that you say when somebody dies. Hey, I'm sorry. I feel you, or whatever.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it's fine, but you're just angry inside. You're in denial. Like for
Right.
me, I
Exactly.
thought Tyler was gonna come back somehow. I don't know. I thought there was gonna be some huge miracle. He was gonna walk in the door and I don't know. So I was angry that people would say that, or people would say, "Oh, you're just gonna get remarried again. There's no way you're gonna stay single." There's a lot of things that people would say, and honestly, even though some of them may be insensitive, I'd rather have those comments than no comments and just
Right.
acting awkward.
Yep.
I,
Yeah,
I still want to be invited to parties. I still want to have fun. I still want to have, joy. I still want to laugh. I still want to smile. I may not at the beginning, but I'm still a person. I'm a human, right?
Right. No, and when you and I say things like that, we're like, don't say I'm sorry. Right. That's just how you feel inside, but you get through it. That's an emotion and it's okay to have that.
It's just
Right.
something that you get through.
Yeah. When people say insensitive things or, less than ideal things,
Less than ideal.
less than ideal. No, that's okay. That's okay. The best thing you can do for somebody is just be there for them.
Yeah.
Right. And then, again, with having somebody there for you to get through whatever you're getting through, whatever emotion you're getting through is absolutely invaluable. Having a coach, a therapist, whatever, that allows you to step into a space where you feel safe, right? Because I know you and I talked about this briefly. When you're going through grief and you feel like you don't want to revisit that, you don't want to feel at all. You just want to be numb because it's easy, it's safe, right? The best thing somebody can do is just be there for you and give you that space, like hold space for you to feel and hold your hand through that process. Like if one of my friends had somebody pass away, 100% I would go and I would say, I'm sorry. And I would
And then you would punch yourself.
and then I would punch myself. No, I would wrap my arms around that person, hold them and be like, I am so sorry, man. I'm so sorry. Or just sympathize however you can, but be there with them and let them feel.
Yeah, and just show up for them and be yourself.
Yeah.
Do not go weird. Do not go weird. I think that's number one tip that there could ever be is be yourself. Do not change just because something traumatic happened.
Right.
Just be yourself. Talk about it. Something that I wanted to talk about when my husband died, I wanted to talk about him. And a lot of people didn't want to mention his name because they thought, oh, it's going to trigger her.
Right. They thought it was insensitive to talk about it.
Yeah. And it's not. That's actually what I want to talk about the most is about him. I enjoy talking about Tyler.
Yeah.
I enjoy, talking about all the memories and whatnot. So do not be scared to bring it up. Do not be scared to give some advice or to say your favorite memory about that person or just to be there and be listening.
Right.
Or just be there to hug that person that you're with, or just show up.
Right. I think, and I'm going to get scriptural here. One thing that I liked, so right when I think it was Lazarus, right? When Lazarus died, Jesus knew he was going to die. He knew he was going to raise him up. But when he came, they said, Lord, Lazarus died. If you would have been here, he wouldn't have died. And Jesus wept. He cried with them. That's all you need to do. Just show up, be there, and don't be afraid to feel emotions with that person. Obviously read the room, right? But if they're crying, it's okay to cry with them. It's okay to feel bad. It's okay to not be okay with that person.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
That's all you do is you hold that space, because if somebody's going through something hard, they're grieving and they're crying, like they're doing everything they possibly can to put on that brave face and say, I'm okay, when everything inside is screaming, I'm not okay.
And you're needing that person
Yeah.
to, to just tell them I'm not okay. I actually want to just scream I'm screaming inside.
Right. And you're not giving yourself permission to do that, right? You're like, I'm not going to scream. I'm going to be strong. I'm going to be strong for my kids. That's not what you need to do. The best thing you can do is be there for somebody and just give them that space. Just let them cry, let them scream, let them be angry.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Don't be afraid of the emotion. And yeah, it's going to get awkward. Yeah, it's going to be weird. That's life. Like it's okay to cry together. It's okay to be mad together and go and break stuff, socially responsible stuff, right? But that's the best thing you can do for somebody, is just hold that space for them so they can feel that emotion and get through that tunnel.
Right. Just don't go away. Don't go away.
Yeah.
Stay there.
Yeah, because you start grieving the other people around you, and you're like, you look back and you're like, oh man, I miss my husband, I miss my wife, and then I miss going to these friends' houses and going to have dinner or going on trips or going on, and then when those friends aren't around to talk to anymore, it hurts even more.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a reminder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a reminder of everything you went through.
Yeah.
All over again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's crazy. It's crazy. And I know that people have the best intentions, but sometimes it's just they don't show up like the best intentions. Sometimes they show up as, I don't care about you anymore because you're different.
Right. Well, yeah, that's the message that comes off, right? And 100% they're not meaning that. Mm-hmm. They want to be there. It's just awkward. It's so hard.
They just don't know how else to be.
Yep. Yep. But yeah, you gotta put yourself out there. Don't be afraid of it. Things happen. Bad things happen. That's okay. Feel it. Be okay with feeling that. And then if people start crying, it's okay.
Cry with them. Because Christ cried as well, right?
Well, one thing one of my friends did. One of my buddies is a life coach as well, and he was walking me through this process of feeling the emotion, because I was all in my head, right? I was like, nope, I don't want to feel anything because it was safe, and it hurts so much to feel. But he was helping me get out of my head and go down to my heart, and we were going through it, as a group of kind of intimate friends. And after we did that, his wife came up and she's like, Ryan, thank you so much for letting me grieve with you. Mm-hmm. Thank you for letting me be here and experience the emotions with you, because they're grieving too, right? But it was one of the best things that I did was somebody held space for me. I went through it and we all grieved together. Yeah. We all cried together.
And then you feel understood.
Yeah. And then
you feel like they get you.
Exactly.
That's the best feeling ever.
But going through it is rough, right? Because going through it, you're like, I don't know what to say, or I don't want to offend you. There's all these doubts and things that cloud your mind. Just be there for them. Just show up.
Be yourself.
Yep. Just be a friend.
So 1, show up and be yourself.
Yeah. Number 2, don't be afraid. Just put yourself out there. It's okay. And then number 3, please don't be offended. If you say something insensitive and they get all mad, please don't be offended. That's just part of it, right?
That's just part of the grieving.
Anger is part of it.
Yeah. And it is a roller coaster. Mm-hmm. Do not think that they're just going to go through each step and then graduate from it.
Yep. And now I'm okay. It's not how it is.
No, you don't graduate from grieving.
Yeah. Some days you're just sad. Some moments you're just sad, and that's okay.
If you really do love that person, right, just be there with them and be sad with them. Mm-hmm. It's okay to be human and feel and grieve with them.
You're supposed to mourn with those that mourn, right?
Right.
100%. So, yeah, if you know somebody that's going through a significant life transition, please do whatever you can not to abandon them. Be there for them. because and yeah, just be there for them. Even if you say something wrong, please be there for them.
And I just want to, take advantage of this moment to all my friends out there that stayed with me. Thank you for being there for me. For all of those, if you think you were not there for me, you were. But do not disappear. No more. Do not go MIA because I miss you. And if you're one of those wondering, what do I say to this person that is going through something terrible, right? And it doesn't have to be a death. It could be a divorce. It could be
just depression. It could be
depression, anything, right?
Moving to a new country and everything's different. Now it's, or anxiety or PTSD or.
Yeah, talk about it with them.
Mm-hmm.
If they're up for it, if they truly are your friend, they will appreciate you talking about it because they need somebody to talk about it.
Or just take them out, go do something. And if they don't want to talk about it, don't talk about it.
And even if they don't want to go out, go and be with them.
Yeah.
Go and spend time with them. Spending time is the best.
Yep. Just be there.
Because you do feel lonely. Those are the moments where you feel the most lonely, and you don't know if you're ever gonna be able to be the same again, right?
Yeah.
But you are deep down inside. You're still yourself, and you're human.
Yeah.
You still want to have joy, and it's important to recognize that grief and joy, they can coexist. Grief and love, they can coexist. They coexist.
Yeah.
And so it's okay. It's okay to move on, or not move on, but move forward with your friend. It's okay to have fun with your friend. It's okay to be there and laugh with your friend. And at the same time, cry with your friend. You're not going to be bipolar. Even if you might feel like it, you won't be.
Yeah. Just part of the journey.
It's just part of the journey.
Yeah.
Be there for them.
Be there for them.
And be in that journey with them. That would mean the world to them. It meant the world to me, for those that were there with me, and
me too. Yeah.
And for you too. You had many people with you along the way. So
awesome. Well, that's it for us, friends. We'll see you next week on 8 Rice Up.
Thank you.